While Ivo Hugh was in the works getting his front end mended, Cora the brake van was there as well, being repainted. Duke was also in the works, being overhauled. The three began talking, and Ivo Hugh told Duke and Cora about his accident. I see. Still, it could be worse. How so? Ivo Hugh questioned. Well, Duke said, at least you didn't start a landslide like Peter Sam did that one time. What do you mean? Asked Ivo Hugh. Would you like to tell the story, Cora? Asked Duke, seeing as you were Peter Sam's brake van at the time. Yes, I certainly would, smiled Cora, and so she went into her story. You see, many years ago, Sir Handel, Peter Sam, Duke and I worked on a railway where the Arlesdale Small Railway now is. At this time, Peter Sam was named Stuart, and Sir Handel Falcon. I was Stuart's brake van at the time. He and I travelled everywhere along our old line together. You know how Peter Sam is a nice, polite engine nowadays. Well, he wasn't always like that. No, in his early days, Stuart could be quite cheeky, and didn't always do as he was told. The incident I'm thinking of began one day, a few months after he had arrived. Stuart, said the manager, I want you to take a passenger train up the mountain road today. But please remember, continued the manager, to be very careful. The mountain road is difficult at the best of times, and I hear that it's likely to rain today, so be on your guard. Stuart promised that he would, but really he was only half listening. This was his first time taking a train up the mountain road by himself, and naturally, he was very excited. Beep, 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 he whistled as he chuffed along the line. Look at me now, look at me now. The manager was right to warn him, Cora went on. It was rainy, very rainy, but still Stuart pressed on. A little rain isn't going to spoil my day, he said. Be careful, Stuart, warned his driver as they made their way up the mountain. No matter how cheeky or careless he might be, Stuart has always been a friendly little engine. Whenever he saw people outside, he would whistle to them. There were some houses along the mountain road, so Stuart whistled as loudly as possible to make sure they heard him. Halfway up the mountain road, Stuart noticed a rattling noise. What's that? He wondered. His driver heard it too. I'm not quite sure, but I don't like the sound of it. Let's go back to the station. The driver was right to do so. As Stuart started backing up, some rocks began to fall from the side of the mountain. They were small at first, but quickly grew larger. Soon there was a rockslide in progress. Luckily, none of the rocks hit Cora, Stuart, or the coaches. When they got back to the top station, the driver spoke to the manager. What are you doing back so early, driver? Asked the manager. Stuart kept whistling loudly, and the sound of his whistle coupled with the rain created a rockslide. I doubt very much we'll be able to use the mountain road for the next few weeks. The manager was cross with Stuart, but was thankful no one had been injured. He set Stuart to work on the goods duties for a while until the mountain road was cleared. And from that day to this, Stuart has been a lot more careful about whistling loudly during rain, and while there are loose rocks about. I like that story, said Ivo Hugh. Thank you very much for telling me about it, Cora. Cora and Duke told Ivo Hugh more stories about the old line until he was fully repaired. By this time, Ivo Hugh's anger towards Duncan had calmed a bit, and the two made amends. The bridge near Renius had also been fully completed, and that night Cora and Duke shut their eyes smiling, for they were dreaming, as old engines and coaches will, of happy days in the past on the old line. And although they missed the good old days on the Mid-Sodor Railway very much, Cora and Duke were happy that they had been brought back into service and to be new friends on the Skarloey Railway.